Hey guys, so you may have seen my video recently on the new L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover Foundation. In that video, there were two issues that I want to address today. One, I had said that it was a little drying and I wasn't using a primer under it. And I always use a primer. The only time I don't use a primer is if I use a BB cream, and that more or less takes the place of a primer. So once I started using a primer, which lately I've been using the e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer, that was no longer an issue. So just wanted to throw that out there. And then the other thing is, one of you had left a comment on that video saying that you thought that the shade that I used looked a little light. And I agree with that. And it totally baffles me because when it comes to L'Oreal or Maybelline foundations, same company, I always got Classic Ivory and it was always a perfect match. But for whatever reason, that shade is too light for me now. So I thought it might be a good idea to do something about that, and instead of just going out and buying the foundation again, I want to use the one that I already have. Hard Candy came out with these Glamouflage Mix-In Pigment Makeup Drops about 3 months ago. And you just put a few drops of this in your foundation to customize it to make it be whatever shade you need it to be. So most people buy the really light shade of these drops and they lighten their foundation. I go the other direction, and I bought something that's a little darker so that I could darken my foundation, because in addition to this one, I also have a couple other foundations that are a little light for me. And for whatever reason, I tend to buy things a little too light. And so this is great. These come in a ton of shades. So no matter what direction you need to customize your makeup, they've got you covered. They have fair 1 and 2. They have light 1, 2, 3, 4. They have medium 1, 2, 3, 4. They have dark. They have a ton of shades. Now, Hard Candy is only sold at Walmart, and this was $7. So I didn't want to get anything too dark because I just want to tweak this a little bit. So I got the shade Light 3 because it goes fair, like I said, fair 1, 2, light 1, 2, 3, 4, medium 1, 2, 3, 4, dark. So I got Light 3, and I thought that would be, just a little darker, because I didn't want to have to use a lot of these drops because I don't want to change the formula of this L'Oreal foundation. I love this formula. So I only want to use a tiny, tiny little bit and mix these two together and hopefully get my perfect shade. The only downside to this is that this product is not sold at every single Walmart. Hard Candy makeup is sold at every Walmart, but this particular product is only sold at select Walmarts. Hence, what I was talking about in yesterday's video, where I said that I was going to a store that I hadn't been to that many times and I wasn't really sure how to get there and I got lost and all that. This is what I was after yesterday, was this particular product. So it is not sold at my local Walmart. Actually, the Walmart that I went to yesterday is 4 Walmarts out from me. So it took me, quite a while to get there, but I really, really wanted to try this product because I remember when the Cover FX pigment drops came out at Sephora, I wanted to try those so bad, and every time I looked at the price, I was like, wow, that's a lot of money, and how often am I really going to use this? So now some time has gone by, and we have a drugstore version, I think. I mean, I am guessing that this is going to be the drugstore version of that product. So, from what I understand, in addition to customizing your makeup color, you can also just use this as a foundation. You don't have to use it that way. So it's a very versatile product. So when I got to the store, I noticed immediately that the light shades were all sold out. And it's not, this isn't like a limited edition thing, this is a permanent product. But I thought, oh, thank goodness I need to go darker with my foundation because the light ones were all gone. So I had my choice though. The only ones that were gone were Fair 1 and 2 and Light 1. So I could have gone Light 2, Light 3, Light 4, or, you know, as dark as I wanted to go. And I just decided that I would get something a little darker than what I already had because I just want to tweak it a little bit. I don't want to go crazy. So I'm going to put this on with you today, and then after that I'm going to finish my makeup and we'll come back and see if I got the effect that I was looking for. So right now all I have on is my lip balm, my face primer, and my under eye corrector, and then the next step would be foundation. So I always list all the products that I use in the description box anyway if you ever want to see exactly what I am wearing. Okay, so this foundation, I believe that I did a try-on type situation where I actually showed myself putting this foundation on before. So you don't need hardly anything, and I hope that by using these drops I'm not going to change the texture or formula of this because I really, really love this foundation. So you only need a tiny little bit, so I'm just going to do that, and then I have already shaken this before, but I want to make sure that it's shaken really well because I suspect, I mean, you can't see inside the bottle because it's opaque, but I think this type of product would have a tendency to separate easily. So then you've got an eyedropper type applicator, so I'm going to squeeze the applicator to pull some product up, and then I'm going to do 2 drops. And I just got a drop on the table, but fortunately I have something there just in case that happened. Okay, now I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to mix this, and yes, it is definitely changing the consistency of the foundation and making it a lot more liquidy. So let's see how we go here, because one of the things that I liked about the L'Oreal foundation was the coverage. So this is probably going to thin it out now. Yeah, see, I'm not getting the coverage now that I was before. So that means I'll probably have to use more, which kind of stinks. And it doesn't go as far now anymore because what it did was it basically all it all like merged into my hand. So I lost most of what I had here. Okay, so we'll do a little more. That's all I'm doing. Try to use some of that 1, 2. Yeah, I really don't want to use any more of this than what I have to. If I had used this with a liquidy concealer, then I wouldn't have to really worry about changing the formula. But this was the foundation that I really wanted to be able to use without it being light. Well, without it being too light, I should say. All right. I think I did pretty good. Still looks just a tiny, tiny little bit lighter than I would want it to be. You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm just going to put a tiny, tiny little bit of that pigment on the brush by itself, and then maybe just kind of go over the whole thing, just to see if I can tweak it just a tiny little bit more to get my perfect shade. Well, I guess it's hard to tell when I haven't really finished my makeup, right? So why don't I go finish my makeup and come back, and then we'll really be able to tell, because it's, you know, without all the other products on it, it's going to look strange anyway. So I'll be right back. Alright, now that my makeup is completely done, I'm pretty happy with the results. When I got in the other room and I used my makeup mirror, and I really looked at the contrast or lack thereof, I could see that it was actually a lot closer. I think the light, the artificial light that I used to film with, is altering the color a bit, because in real life it actually looks really, really close. So I would definitely recommend this product. I think that everybody, I don't care who you are or how careful you are when you buy your foundation, I think everybody could really use a product like this to adjust, you know, just tweak your foundation a little bit. And the range of colors on this is fantastic. And it's only $7. Now, you don't get a ton of product in here. You only get half of 1 fluid ounce. So that isn't very much, but you don't need very much. You only need, I used 2 drops, and then at the end I just took 1 drop on my brush and just brushed over the whole thing, and that did the trick. It took away that strong white cast that the Classic Ivory shade had left behind. So I'm very happy with this. And I just figured I would also mention that since I was reviewing a Hard Candy product today, when I went in to do my makeup, I used the Hard Candy Trolls palette on my eyes, and then I used the highlighter on my face. So I figured, you know, what the heck, since I was doing Hard Candy anyway for the review. But that is it, you guys. I'm really happy with this, and I don't think I'm going to see you again now until after the holiday, because my husband has Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off from work, so it's pretty much impossible for me to film videos when he's home, because, you know, we like to go places and do things together and everything. So I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday, and I will see you probably Tuesday then, hopefully. So that's it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.